early in the administration, when you were at the Department of Homeland Security, there was the issue of immigration, the ban on immigration and so forth. Were you alerted to that when you were there? And how do you think that ultimately is now working out?
Yeah, I would say that, and I've talked to some of the previous members of his previous administration, chiefs of staff. They all kind of, those that were beginning, that were in the transition and then went into, they all said the same thing. You had all of these great ideas that you wanted to just unleash on the world right after the inauguration. They all kind of said that maybe the right level of staff work wasn't quite done on those. So that when, just a couple of 3 days after I became the DHS secretary, the EO came out on the so-called travel ban. As a sidebar, I would say that the countries and the 7 countries involved in the president's thinking were all dysfunctional. Iran, everyone knows it's a hotbed of terrorism. The other countries were dysfunctional. The entire population, Muslim population of those countries added up to about 11% of the world's population. The point is, those countries, they don't have a process that we could bless and say, the people that they say are coming out of those countries to come to the United States for whatever reason, there's no way to really tell who they are because these countries are in a state of collapse. It could have been done better. Back to, David, the staff process. If that had been when I was there, say several months later, the idea that the president might want to do that, and he has strong feelings on immigration, we all know that, we'd have run that through this process and at least had a better release plan.
When you were at the White House, that was when the policy, so-called separating families, arose, and was that an unfair criticism?
Another example of a decision made, not by the White House in this case necessarily, a decision made that had not been through a full staffing process. The decision by Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who's a friend and a great guy, he made that decision, the so-called zero tolerance, that had immediate impact on Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Health and Human Services. He made that decision in some level of isolation. We didn't run it through a staff process. It was the decision the president wanted, I believe. But had we run that through a better staff process, we could have said, okay, we're going to do this in, say, 60 days. DHS, what do you have to do? HHS, what do you have to do? Because the end result of this is separated families. And then there may have been a discussion, there probably would have been a discussion, is this a good idea? Does this have the optics